If my husband had just cheated on me, I could have handled that. I could have walked away, dealt with the pain, and moved on. But what I found was worse, so much worse. There are moments in life when everything you believe in, everything you trust, comes crashing down in the blink of an eye. For me, it all started with something so small, so seemingly insignificant: a tampon. I'm 29 years old, and I've been with my husband for 7 years, married for 4. We have 2 beautiful daughters together, and I thought we were happy. He always joked that we were still in our honeymoon phase, even after 2 kids. And I believed him, until the day I found a tampon in his car. It was wedged between the seat cushions, a brand I had never used. At first, I wanted to dismiss it. Maybe it was old. Maybe it was from before we got married. Maybe I was overreacting. But there was one problem. I haven't had a period in over a year. Because of my IUD, I don't even need tampons anymore. My hands felt clammy as I turned the small package over, my heart hammering in my chest. Something was wrong. I could feel it deep in my bones. I just didn't know how wrong things were about to get. That night, after putting the kids to bed, I held up the tampon in front of my husband. "What's this?" I asked, my voice as calm as I could manage. He frowned, barely glancing up from his phone. "What do you mean?" "It's a tampon. I found it in your car, between the seat cushions." His brows furrowed, but not in the way of a man caught in a lie, more like someone who was genuinely confused. Then, just as quickly, he shrugged. "It's probably Fiona's." Fiona, his co-worker, our friend. We carpooled to lunch the other day. She must have dropped it. I stared at him, waiting, hoping for something more. An apology, an explanation, anything that would make this feel less wrong. But he just went back to scrolling on his phone, like it was nothing, like I wasn't sitting there holding evidence of another woman in his car. My stomach twisted. Was I being crazy? Maybe it really was Fiona's. Maybe I was looking too much into this. Maybe I just needed to let it go, and I almost did, until I found the second tampon. 2 weeks later, we had dinner with Fiona and her husband. I told myself I was overthinking, but my mind wouldn't stop racing, so I did something desperate. I faked an emergency and asked Fiona if she had a tampon. She casually reached into her purse and handed me one. It was identical to the one I had found in my husband's car. I felt my breath hitch. So, maybe it was hers. Maybe there was an innocent explanation. I could breathe again. I was ready to let it go. But then I found the second tampon. In my sock drawer. I felt physically ill. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't something that had just fallen out of someone's purse. Someone was putting them there. I didn't know how. I didn't know why. But I knew one thing for certain. Something was very, very wrong. Then came the onesie. My youngest daughter had been sick, so my husband offered to stay home with her. When I got home that evening, I walked into her room, exhausted from work, ready to scoop her up and cuddle her. But as I leaned over her crib, my heart stopped. She was dressed in a onesie I had never seen before, and a tiny clip held back her wispy curls. I knew every piece of clothing my daughters owned, and I knew, for a fact, that I had never bought that onesie. And my husband? He never bought clothes for our kids, and he definitely never did their hair. I went straight to him. "Did someone come over today?" I asked, my voice steady but my hands trembling. He looked at me, completely unfazed. "No." "Why?" I pressed further. "Are you sure? No one stopped by, even for a second?" "I told you it was just me and the girls." I knew he was lying, but I had no idea just how deep the lie went. I was done playing this game. I ordered hidden cameras and had them shipped to my sister's house. But before they even arrived, the truth came crashing down on me. I was at work when I got a Ring doorbell notification. I clicked on the video, expecting to see a delivery driver. Instead, I saw her. A woman I hadn't seen in years, holding my youngest daughter's hand, my husband standing beside her, and my older daughter following behind them. I felt my breath hitch. This woman wasn't a friend. She was his sister, and she was supposed to be 2 states away, by court order, because she was a registered abuser and a recovering addict. And now, she was in my home, with my children. My hands shook as I called my husband. No answer. I texted, "What the fuck is your sister doing in our house?" Nothing. By the 6th call, he finally picked up. His voice was shaky. "It's not what you think." But it was. It was exactly what I thought. He had been sneaking her into our house for months, every time I was at work. She had stayed the night when I was out of town. She had babysat our children while I thought they were with his parents. She had bought the onesie and dressed my baby in it. She had planted the tampons in our house, and my husband let her. He gaslit me the entire time. And the worst part? He was never going to tell me. I packed my bags that night and took my daughters with me. I filed for divorce the next morning. He fought me. He tried to make me look like the crazy one. But the evidence didn't lie. I got full custody. He got supervised visitation. Because he wasn't just a liar, he was a man who put our children in danger. I used to wonder how I didn't see it sooner, but now I know why. Because I trusted him. Because I loved him. But now, I only trust myself. Then you deserve my children, and I deserve a life free from deception and betrayal, and I am committed to building that future for us. In your opinion, what do you think about this story? Please leave your comment below to let me know.